this is Mr. Ronald and welcome back to our class. So, last time we talked about the different properties of materials. What is properties again? So, properties are words that we use to describe a material. So, we have different kinds of materials, right? So, we have paper, we have metal, we have rubber, we have glass, we have wood, and many other kinds of materials. And we use different words to describe them. Okay, so now let's review the different properties of materials. So the first property is hard. Now, what is hard? If something is hard, it is difficult to scratch or squash. So a very good example is metal. Metal is hard. Next property is soft. Soft is the opposite of hard. So soft, if something is soft, it is easy to squash or cut or bend. For example, bread. So bread is soft. Okay? Next property is flexible. Now, if something is flexible, it can easily be bent without breaking. So, for example, is a slinky. A slinky is flexible. Next property is opposite of flexible is rigid. Now, if something is rigid, it is difficult to bend, or else it may break if it is bent. For example, glass. Okay, next one. Shiny. So if something is shiny, it reflects light. So a very good example is mirror. So mirror is shiny. Okay, the opposite of shiny is dull. Now, dull is something that does not reflect light. So a very good example is a table. A table is dull. Okay, next one. Next property is rough. Rough, if something is rough, it feels bumpy, uneven, and hard. So a very good example is the bristles of a toothbrush. Okay, next one. The opposite of rough is smooth. Now, if something is smooth, it is not uneven or it doesn't feel bumpy. A very good example again is mirror. Mirror is also smooth. Next one is transparent. Now, if something is transparent, it lets light pass through. A very good example of transparent material is window. Next one is opaque. Everybody say opaque. Now, if something is opaque, it does not let light pass through. So, a very good example is the wall or the chalkboard. Next one is weak. So, a weak property, or if something is weak, it can easily be bent or broken, like paper. Paper is weak. Next one is strong. Now, if something is strong, it doesn't easily break or gets bended. Again, metal is strong. So, a very good example of strong material is scissors. So, the next property is waterproof. If something is waterproof, it keeps out water or it does not let water go through. A very good example is a glass. A glass is waterproof. Next property and the last one is absorbent. If something is absorbent, it soaks up liquid or it absorbs or takes in water. For example, sponge. Sponge is absorbent. Again, what do we call the word to describe materials? We call it properties. Now, we are going to have an experiment. Okay, so now let's try to use the words or properties we just learned to describe these materials. Okay, let's choose 3 hard things from this table. Okay, so first one is scissors. So scissors are hard. Okay, now this tumbler is also hard. Now another hard thing is this perfume bottle. Now let's move on and let's go to soft property. So rubber bands are soft. Now this ball is also soft. And these cotton balls are soft. Now let's move on. Let's have shiny and dull. Again, shiny reflects light. Dull does not reflect light. So which materials here, 3 materials here are shiny? Okay, so let's look. So this glass is, again, shiny. Okay, these scissors are shiny. This part of the scissors are shiny. Okay, is there anything else that is shiny in here? I think we are done. Now let's go to dull. So this pencil case is dull. This paper cup is dull. And this coin purse is also dull. Now let's go to the next properties. We have flexible and rigid. So flexible, it can be bent. Rigid is a material that cannot be bent, or if we bend it, it's gonna break. Okay, so rubber band is flexible. Okay, this coaster is flexible. Okay, this sponge is flexible. Now these scissors are rigid. This flashlight is also rigid, or we also call it torch. And this perfume bottle is also rigid. Now let's go to the next properties. Smooth and rough. So smooth materials, let's choose 3 smooth materials. So we have here, first one, notebook. This is smooth. Okay, and then let's have here the tumbler, because if you look here, it's very smooth. Okay, and then we have the ruler. The ruler is also very smooth. Now this pencil case is rough. Okay, this sponge is rough, and this coaster is also rough. Now let's look and learn about absorbent and waterproof. So absorbent, it takes in water or absorbs water. Waterproof doesn't allow water to pass through or go through. So notebook is absorbent. Okay, these cotton balls are absorbent, and this pencil case is also absorbent because it's made of fabric. Now this tumbler is waterproof. This glass is waterproof, and this watch right here is also waterproof. Now let's have transparent and opaque. So this tumbler is transparent because you can see what's inside of this tumbler. That right now there's nothing inside. This glass is also transparent because you can see the perfume inside. Okay, what else? Oh, this one is also transparent. Okay, now this one, the flashlight, is opaque because you can't see what's inside. Okay, this teddy bear is also opaque. Okay, and this ball is also opaque. Okay, now the last property that we have, properties that we have are strong and weak. Okay, so this flashlight is strong because it's like I can't, like bend it. This perfume bottle is also strong. Okay, and this tumbler is also very strong. Now, okay, these cotton balls are weak because I can easily like tear them. Okay, and this notebook is also very weak because I can easily fold it or like tear it as well. And last one is the paper cup. Paper cup is also very weak because I can easily crumple or squash it. Now, it's your turn to record a video. So you're going to look for different items or materials in your house, like anything that you can find in your house, and you're going to record yourself describing those materials that you have found. You can limit the number of items to 4 or 5, okay? And the video must be about 4 minutes. I think that's enough. And then remember to use the different properties that we have learned from our lesson. Okay? Now let's review. What are the different properties that we have? Okay, so we have hard, soft, we have shiny. What is the opposite of shiny? Dull. We have transparent and opaque. We have rough and smooth. And then we have strong and weak. We have flexible and rigid. And we have absorbent and waterproof. Okay? So don't forget those words. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!